Welcome to the F.L.A.W.C. It's the Flock with Anita and Cheryl. Woohoo! And the Flock. We started the Flock so that we could introduce our flock to our flock, right? And the acronym is an endearment to light workers, conscious creators. And it originally was the Fruit Loop and Wind Chime Club. However, we've had so many amazing guests that have given us their interpretation of the flock. And I absolutely love the one that our mentor teacher, Tara Catherine Collins from the Western School of Feng Shui, left us, which is flowing love, activating whirling chi.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm. So I love it. Love it. And Cheryl, we have a guest today, and she's sitting right beside you. How cool is that? Yeah. So, who's our guest? Tell us all about it. Why is she sitting next to you?
Well, she's sitting next to me because she's a dear friend, and I'm so happy that she's in town because she's all over the place. She's a suitcase traveler. Let's just say that. Kerri Hermary. Now, when I first started stepping into awakening, certainly wasn't awake. It was because of this woman. She had a shop in a town not far from here, about 45 minutes away from where I live. And we had known each other many, many, many years ago.
I was 18.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, now we're aging ourselves. Anyway, and we had run into each other at an event, actually down in southern Alberta. And she was doing button readings, like spontaneous button readings at tables. I'm like, what the hell? So we had coffee, and then when we were both back in our area, I went out to her shop to visit her, and she started me on the classes, learning about chakras, learning about opening your third eye. So literally right at the very beginning of my spiritual awakening, I'm going to blame her.
Nice.
She has been trained in and teaches on gamma energy and gamma healing, and we call her the Button Lady.
Yeah.
Kerri Hermary. So I'm very excited not only that we can interview her because she has been an impact in my life, but that she's here at my house and I can give her hugs. Yay!
Yes.
So welcome, Kerri.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
How cool is that? And I think the first time I met you personally, Kerri, was at one of our Fruit Loop and Wind Chime Club events, we'll call them. And when Cheryl first was telling me about Kerri Hermary, her friend, and all this wonderful stuff, and the Button Lady, right? And I'm like, what's that all about? So I'm sure everybody else is wanting to know the same thing. How did you become the Button Lady, and what does that look like? Because as you can see behind me,
you got a jar of buttons.
Look at your buttons. I didn't even bring my buttons. I didn't even think of it.
And I'm gonna tell you a little story about them. But anyways, we want to hear, why are you known as the Button Lady?
Well, it was funny when I started doing the buttons. Okay, so I didn't have any education on my gift. And so I ended up going to psychic school to learn about my gift, to understand it. So what ended up happening, my teacher told me I could read anything. So, I don't know, I had a dream one day, woke up and I started reading buttons. So then I started doing the buttons and nobody could remember my name. That's how I got the name Kerri the Button Lady. No, just the Button Lady. I wasn't even known as Kerri then. So, and I traveled around to different places, and I traveled a lot, the expos and healing, expos and the trade shows. And everybody goes, "Is the Button Lady here?" That's how I got my name. But really how it really started, all of it, is kind of cool. So everybody kept asking me, why the buttons? And I'm like, I don't know. So I went and asked my guide, Melchizedek. And at the time I had a chief native on the land where I was doing all my healing. And I asked him, why the buttons? And so he showed me at the time when I was married, I rescued dogs. So I had a successful dog business. We had a successful hunting business. And the chief had showed me on the land, there was a camp, a native camp. And the native camp, they hunted for food. They had dogs to carry it, and the children played with buttons. So everything from that native camp was happening in my home. And that's how I come across the buttons without even knowing it. So I've been doing it for like many, many years, like many years.
So when you say your gifts, so obviously you channel, right? And you help other people, you give them information. And so for some people that aren't, familiar with that, like when, where in your childhood were you first aware of your gifts, and were they supported by your family, by your, tell us what that looks like.
Well, I always knew I was different, but my gift didn't really start showing up until I started trying to heal my abusive marriage. When I started looking at trying to heal my family and fix my family, that's when spirit started coming to me. And really what I did is I sat in a zero gravity chair. I had a book because I couldn't afford much else. And in this book, it always said, do a meditation and ask God to come into your heart. That's what I did every day, 2 hours a day. Sometimes I'd just sleep. And when I had my shot, I'd do that too. Today, I still do it sometimes, but that's when spirit started showing me my higher self, started showing me my gifts. And so my gifts are very broad. Like I'm not just clairvoyant, I'm not just clairaudience, I'm not clear taste. I'm all of it. I'm the clear knowing. And I've never really been taught those separately because we're all psychic, and I've always been communicating with spirit, even in the most abusive times. I always called it the voice, but the voice was always guiding me. So for me, my gifts started during the abusive times, but I didn't acknowledge them as my gifts at the time because I was just surviving. So now I understand it all. And yeah, so I can see way lines, I can see auras, I can see ghosts, I can smell ghosts, taste them, all that. So when I look at somebody, I can see all their energy. Okay, yeah, no. But I can't read your mind. I do not want to read your mind. And
okay, but you can, through the camera, right? Obvious, because you do some distant, remote consultation. So through the camera, can you see auras? And could you see if I had a ghost or a spirit guide or something?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what's in between me. I'm very connected. Yeah. So I channel Melchizedek, and he's been with me from the beginning. And so he's really guided me along my way. So my gifts, really, I like to say my abusive marriage was a blessing in disguise, because without that, I wouldn't be who I am today, And it's a bigger picture than we know, but sometimes I'm like, do I really want to know that? Because when you know a lot, you have no excuses, right? So sometimes it's good just to be human instead of psychic all the time.
Good point. Very good point. So Kerri is very talented, by the way. And so Anita started this. You read buttons. Can you give a bit of an explanation what that is, what that looks like? And I wish I don't even have buttons on me.
Yeah,
I do.
This is a great idea because she can do this too.
Yeah.
I'll pull one and you read it.
Yeah, I'll read it. Yes, for sure.
Does that work?
So just a sec. So before every button reading, I like to say a prayer. Okay. So God, please come into this session with me and Anita. Just make me the best, and Cheryl, and make me the best channel I can be. Any loved ones that would like to come in, please come in with ease and grace. Amen. Okay, so I say, what number comes to your mind between 1 and 10?
What number?
Yeah.
Number 8.
Okay, so we're going to pick
9. 9 kind of came back there.
Okay. We'll pick 5 with your eyes closed and 4 with your eyes open.
Okay, 5 with my eyes closed. Okay, well,
and while Anita is doing that, why with your eyes closed?
Okay. So when I'm doing a reading with somebody, regardless if it's on the phone, on the Zoom, or in person, when you close your eyes, you're picking from your heart. When you open your eyes, you're picking from your head because you can see.
Right.
And a lot of people get into their own heads and they can't get the right message because their head's in the way. So when you pick them with your eyes closed, that's messages straight from spirit.
Okay. So I'm not looking. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that one dropped. 5. Okay, there's 5 with my.
Okay. So also, you have a grandmother that just stepped in. She's on right in front of your picture there. And so I'm going to describe her to you.
Oh, goosies. Hi, Grandma.
She was spiritual herself, but she never broadcasted it. I feel like she was really connected. It's like she could read your mind before you even did anything. It's like, you know, when they say you have eyes in the back of your head. I feel like she knew everything, and when she needed to say something, she said something. She wasn't a very outspoken woman, like when she picked her own battles, but she was just, when she talked, she was really well respected. I don't know why she's showing me buns. She must have been a baker. Was she a baker?
You know what? She passed when I was very young, and so I only know of her through my dad and stuff, because I'm assuming it's Grandma Agnes, because that's where these buttons came from. And
oh yes. Okay, so the buns are circular like a button. Okay.
Well, yeah, and you know what? My mom, you know, did not know how to cook. She didn't even know how to boil water. And my grandma Agnes and my grandpa lived on the farm with my mom and dad. And so my grandma was really responsible for teaching my mom how to make bread, how to make those buns. And my mom is now famous for her cinnamon buns.
Cinnamon buns.
Oh, that's cool, because I see them spiral. They're spiral now with these cinnamon buns. Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. So she's tipping her hat off, and I think it's your grandpa actually. Did he always like nod or do something with his hat? Oh, you didn't really know that, but you could ask somebody, because he's like tipping his hat to you. And I know it's a male figure that's coming in. Okay. No, you actually know this person. You actually know him because he's on the opposite side. So it's got to be an uncle or somebody that you were close to that has passed on. But
There's a lot of people that have passed on.
Okay, so let me describe a little bit. I want to say he's smoking, but it's not a cigar. It is a cigar. It's not a smoke. It's a cigar. And he had this. It's not a regular cap. It's like a goofy looking hat. And he was like teased about his hat. He was a hat man. I heard hat man.
The name that comes to mind is this old guy that, you know, was a family friend, whatever. And Andy Gump. Andy Gump. Suspenders? Oh no, my grandpa wore suspenders. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, it could be either one of them.
Okay, so he's coming through. I just pick up the male energies in these odd pictures. So he's holding his hands in his suspenders.
Cool.
Yeah. So they're definitely around you, and I know they're definitely connected to you. So show me your buttons.
Okay, so the buttons.
Just hold one up at a time.
Okay, one at a time.
Okay, so that one is about repeat patterns. Do you see how the patterns are?
Yeah.
On there? Okay, so the message to you is you got to tweak something because you're doing the same pattern over. And I feel like it's like connected to business. So how you do things, you're changing how you do things. So flip it over. What's on the other side? Yeah, so you see in the middle, it's like everything that you've done in the past has come to the center. And now everything you've ever learned is being brought together. And that's how you're doing your business today. You're bringing it all together.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Pick another button.
Another button.
You have to get out of your way. You're the one that stops your growth.
Oh, okay? I thought you meant like get out of the way of the button. That too.
Yeah, sometimes you make things harder than they need to be. Do you see how it's kind of on that button? If you look at the front of it, it's kind of it's smooth and then it's bumpy and it's smooth and it's bumpy. That's your own thoughts. Okay, but see, it's not black, it's just cream color. So if you just go with the flow and stop trying to figure everything out so it's perfect, this is a message for you as well. And actually, this message is for both of you, actually, because the buttons, she's pulling them because you're in your energy as well, right? Yeah. So you guys just have to keep having fun like you're doing and just keep doing it because you're going to be huge. It's going to be a big success for you guys. But you got to let it come in its own time. Okay. And even though its own time is really fast speeding up. Yeah. What's the next button?
And this one, it's kind of cool on the back. You can't really see, but it has it's almost like it has like,
it's a face.
Looks like two things joined together.
Yeah, it's a face. So what it is you're being guided by somebody. Yeah, you're being guided by somebody with your, and that's connected to your grandma. That is, can't you see your grandma in there? So put that back up so Cheryl can see that. Can you see the old lady in there? Turn it this way a little bit. Turn it this way.
The other way. There you go.
Can you see the old lady in there?
I see a little baby. That's what I see in there is a baby.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're being guided, and you just got to get out of your thoughts because you're having help from all over the place because you guys are light workers. And when light workers come out and start a business, there's lots of help on the other side. Maybe not so much in the physical world, but lots on the other side. Okay, what's your next button?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's just about having fun. So
it's like a little flower.
Yeah,
it actually
like,
kind of looks like a happy face flower thing.
Yeah, you two do better when you laugh and act like children, if that's the right wording.
Perfect, because that's what we act most of
you know,
the time.
I watched your live where you guys had your goofy glasses and stuff. What you're doing is you're leading inspiration, people that are trying to do this and they're so serious. So if you guys are power ladies, and so when you do that, you act goofy, it allows everybody to be goofy.
Perfect.
You know, so if you guys are leaders in this sense, even though you don't think you are, but you really are. And then the people that you're interviewing and stuff like that, it's just you're bringing in so much inspiration and calming, and a lot of people need this.
Aww.
Okay, what's your next button?
Okay, I'm loving this. Okay, that's another button.
Okay, so that is just connected to your doubts about what you should do. So black is just the unknown, okay? So because I know Cheryl, she's kind of like a little control freak, and I've been trying to teach her that from the beginning. So, but it's not about where. Okay, can I share something?
Absolutely.
For an example, that button just the unknown, right? When I first met Cheryl, she was always in her ego. And I don't know why. She come and help me at healing expos and everything, and I don't know why, because she was curious, but not really jumped into it. And she was always helping me, So even though she did not know the reason why she was doing that back how many years ago, now look where she's at. So that little black button is not bad. It's just you can't control the future because the future will happen regardless of how you guys try to do it. Yes, you got to stay on your path.
And it's just a little black button too. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we all create our own path, and that's what you guys are doing. You're creating your own path, and you're making it go by keep going forward. But when you get to a stop sign, so to speak, just let it go. That's a sign that you just need to let it go.
Okay, and then this is a little tiny button too. It's really cute. It's kind of pearly.
Well, okay, so it's like the diamond inside, right?
It's kind of like a green on the outside. It almost looks like it could be like a little
Mr. Pearl?
Like a little shell, or something you'd find.
It's about money. You don't have to talk about
it's really cute.
It's about money. So when you do something you love, the money just flows. It comes to you. So when you're starting out, you think of the money, how much you can start and stuff. But I feel like you guys are over that stage now. Now you just got to keep doing what you're doing and loving it and being consistent. Then it's going to come. The money's going to come, and you're starting to see it a little bit here and there. But you're really going to start making money when you start doing more big live groups, like what do you call them? Seminars. All I can see is you two standing in front, talking and teaching, but it's just not about Vince Ray. It's about
energy.
Yeah, energy, and it's like everything that you two have done, bringing it together and doing a course. You guys must be building some kind of course or something that you can put all your stuff together, and you're gonna start selling it and doing live. I feel like you're gonna talk about it live.
We like to talk.
So building something that people can learn from you. Okay, so for an example, my workshops I do, they get to know me, but people don't come to my workshops. They got to get to know me through the buttons. So this part of you guys' business is people getting to know you. And then when you start opening up your courses, which are going to be really big, by the way, and I see you traveling around, and I've told Cheryl this before, you're going to be traveling around talking, but it's more just talking, not really doing workshops. I don't feel like it's workshops. I feel like you're motivational speakers. That's right.
That works. Goosebumps. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, and you're gonna be very, very successful, but it's gonna be more motivational speaking than workshops. I don't see you guys, because you guys are gonna be so big, you aren't gonna want to do workshops. Like, it's a lot of work. And don't get me wrong, but you guys have worked hard enough. Like, you think when you started, Cheryl, how many years ago? And I don't know when you started, Anita, but you guys are at the same level and you wouldn't be here right now. So when you've done all that hard work, what happens is you're ready to just talk about it. It's like me. I'm ready to talk about this, right? That's what you guys are too. But I don't see the workshops being as successful as the seminars talking.
Cool.
Right? Podcast for sure for you too. Podcast, and I feel like this is part of it.
Yeah.
But it's all about energy and what you're guided. Because now that Cheryl can channel, and you can channel, Anita, you're gonna get a lot of information. And a lot of leaders are coming out and they're starting to educate people on the spirit realm. You know, the stuff that the doctors are talking about now, like Dr. Joe
Dispenza.
Yeah, what he's talking about now, I talked about how many years ago? I've been talking about the brain and gamma brain waves since I was like 25. So I have been channeling that information for a long time. And did you know there's more men motivational speakers than there are women? Now we're going to change that, right, ladies? We're going to change that. So it's just interesting how the men are kind of leading us into, I don't know what you want to call it, but the world is feminine. The energy is feminine. You know, the men maybe think they're leading, but when it comes to anything spiritual, like you think of Louise Hayes, you think of all those ladies, they led it. And now the men are coming out of the woodwork because they think they got a little bit more knowledge. I'm just doing that's how people come out. A little bit more knowledge, but it's the women, the feminine energy is what's changing the whole chaotic energy. It's the feminine. Feminine has always been in power, but we got to let these men think they are.
Cool. Love it. Love it.
Very cool. And you guys are going to open up to a lot more too. A lot more downloads coming. When you guys are tired, rest because you're being downloaded.
Oh my God. Then I've been downloaded a lot.
Yeah. Because when you're ready to be downloaded, you're ready. You're ready. You know, and they're going to dump a lot on you because really you're just remembering who you are. So you already know you're alive. So I don't like the word awakening because if you pinch yourself, you can feel it, right? But we're energy beings and we're just here to remember who we are. And that's what it's all about. You ladies are remembering who you are, right? And you're going to bring that frontwards to other people to help them remember because you're already awake and that's old teaching. And you guys are being downloaded new teachings. It's not the old teachings like Sylvia Brown, you know, all those teachings are changing now because the energy is changing.
Yeah.
You know, the children coming in right now are a higher vibration than children that were born like a year ago or 2 years ago. I'd be careful with that because I'm on TikTok and I got a whole bunch of people telling me babies are all good. But anyhow, so it's just the energy that we're working with, right? The energy that we're working with right now is chaotic. And a lot of people, because they think they don't understand it, it's because their energy being is putting them into situations where they have to match that chaotic energy. So when a baby comes in, they're ahead of all of us. They're ahead of all of us because they're already a higher vibration, right? And they all got a unique look to them. And I've seen a lot of babies and they all look like ETs. And when I see them, I can see their energy beyond that, right? So new teaching coming in for everybody. And you guys just, the two lucky ladies, just like myself, they're going to be downloaded new teachings. People don't have to listen. They just got to remember. Right?
I like that. I like that.
Okay. So speaking of, you know, children and all of that. So what do your children think of their mom being the button lady? Or your family, you know, do you have brothers, sisters? Like, you know, do they always come to you and say, now what?
No. My children are all very gifted too. They've all put it on the back burner. I want to share a little story with you. Quick one. So my son-in-law, Eric, graduated from RCMP. So he was receiving his badge. And so when he receives his badge, he can see his family. So he can see Brianna and the two kids, right? So then lady goes, who's the man in the picture? And Eric goes, oh, it must be my son, Brandon, right? So anyhow, he calls up Brianna, who's the guy in the picture? And she goes, guy, there's no guy there. I've been telling them for years they had a ghost in their house. And now they got proof of it, that ghost was in the picture with them. And he's still there. So it's just really cool. So little things like that, my family, they they think I'm crazy when I put salt all around everywhere. And because I connect to those things really easy, right? I see them, I smell them, I can see them. It's like I'm not physical half the time. But so my grandkids are very gifted. My other side of the family, they think they're gifted, but I'm the one that's actually doing the work for it. They've not done the work, but I've done the work. And so my brothers and sisters, we're only half brothers and sisters, so I have a different father. Yeah. So I've just always been really different, you know? And so my family's really not, we're family, don't get me wrong, but I have different gifts. Everybody, I don't like saying that because everybody's got the same gifts. I'm just the one using developing them. Yeah, developing and healing myself, doing the work to not relive that abuse again. You know?
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of our guests on the flock have similar stories in that, you know, they always felt different, you know, they felt like the odd duck, you know, treated different or whatever. And so it's so cool that you were able to embrace your gifts and, like you said, to be able to really just say, yes, this is what I'm going after, and just to feel that depth in your soul, that knowingness that you came here this lifetime to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah. So I wrote a book.
I was just going to say, we got to talk about her book.
Okay. So my book is actually 7 books in one. Okay. My very first book that I published with the publisher, it went #1 in 3 weeks. And I say that, I'm still feeding my ego a little bit with that one, but I didn't trust Spirit when they said it would be a bestseller. It went #1 in the US, the UK, Australia, and Canada.
Nice.
Okay. So I had some things happen with that. It's okay. It's in the past. So, but I knew I had to write the rest of the book. And I kept seeing an angel holding out my book as one. So I have just last winter, I wrote 6 other books and they're all completed. I'm just waiting. It's all done. I haven't let my baby go yet. But it talks about my journey, and it talks about, it's called Energy and Weight Loss, Understanding the Dense Energies of Humans, Environments, Past Lives, Ghosts that Cause Weight Gain. So I really, my story is to educate people on past lives. I brought a past life in with my ex. The abuse, I brought it in from another lifetime. I spent the whole winter traveling. I've been traveling since 2016, healing all my past lives. I went to Kauai, I went to Baja, Mexico, I went across Canada. Since 2016, I've been traveling around healing all my past lives. So this last winter, I wrote this journey of mine to show people how energy works and how past lives are. So I'm just waiting for a publisher. I'm guided to do another publisher, even though the first one didn't pan out so well. But I'm just waiting because it's really an educational tool for people to understand that their choices that they make are theirs. You know, my blueprint, I talk about how the energy comes into the body, how the chakras connect to the organs, how the gamma brain waves were the first thing that was ever developed. You know, and I describe. I channeled how the energy being comes down all these different energies just to get on Earth. So people that are here, our energy beings, are all successful right now because they go from a high vibration to the sky down to a lower vibration. And I talk about the layers, the different layers in the book. So I want people to understand and remember who they are. It's not about now, you know, and your spirit comes here with the blueprint, of course. But the spirit has a bigger job as well. The spirit, your spirit energy being, has to guide your physical being through this earth path. And so it's really cool when you think about it. So think of driving a car that has no steering. So really that's what happens when you come into earth with this energy being in your body. It's like the energy being's going, okay, how do I steer this? You know, and so it starts steering. And that's why you get off path a lot and stuff. But the energy being's job is, in physical being, is for them to connect and become one. And so we need all this dysfunction because you contracted it. Everybody that's in your life, they're here for a reason, right? So when you think of this energy being sitting up here, and my energy being was going, thank God she's getting it because her steering was right off. You know, so my path was really perfect, but now I'm connected to my energy being and I'm guided, but I still have times where I don't trust, you know.
We are still a human.
Yes, I'm still a human for sure. But it's really interesting. So your energy being comes here because it doesn't necessarily want to grow on earth. It wants to grow up in heaven. I'm going to call it heaven. Up in spirit. It has to grow up there. So right now it's at a level. So look at going to school. So you go grade 1 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
You do that in heaven as well. You go from grade 1 to 12, but it's different. It's called ascension. Okay. Here on earth, you do that as well. But that's why you come into so many different lifetimes. That's why you have so many lifetimes, because we are all masters. We really are. All the old souls are masters, but we come to earth here with the hardest challenges, like a physical and mental abuse. People go, why would you choose that? Because my energy being knew I was strong enough. And on the other side, there's something bigger that my energy being wants to accomplish.
Right.
So when you look at yourself and you think of all the people around you and, oh my God, why I attract that one, it's all in the blueprint. And regardless of how much you get off that path, you steer crooked, your energy being will always get you back on that path. Always.
Yeah.
It's really
awesome.
Cool.
So
Okay, well, we're going to look forward to reading that book or the books together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know we could spend hours too.
Yeah.
Cheryl, you got any other questions? I know we still have some time. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have some time. So I know more about you than obviously Anita and our other viewers and the people that are watching this, our circle. But how do you express yourself in the world now? Like, what is Kerri out there doing now? Because it's a rare occasion that she's actually here.
Hiding? No. Well, I just, I've come to a part now in my life where I want to find a home.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know where. So I'm kind of on this journey. I'm still traveling, and I don't know. There's still stuff on my bucket list, but right now I'm here for a reason. I understand that, and I know I'm on TikTok for a reason. I'm Kerri the Button Lady on TikTok. Anybody wants to join me?
Perfect.
I want to get to 10,000 followers. I'm just about there already. Yeah, but I feel like I'm being more guided to do more stuff online. Teach online. But I feel once my book is published, then my life will change, because then I'll be going and doing motivation speaking as well about spirit. So I'm kind of just in a calm before the storm sort of thing, where I kind of don't know where I'm meant to be yet, because this is all working on the other side and I don't know how they're doing it.
So now that we've heard a little bit about your book, Kerri, and your adventures, and there's some days when I think, oh man, to be not here. And then when I do relax and appreciate our home and our yard, then it's like, I'm pretty good being stable. So I do credit her, because she has been
since
all over the place.
2016.
And
Wow.
then literally I'll be driving someplace and get a message for her.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool.
Yes, going across Canada, she warned me about this guy, and this guy did come into my life. So and it's funny, another Cheryl I know, she does the same thing. So there's 2 Cheryls I know that actually gives me a message. Be careful,
Something's happening.
Yeah.
But I also know you have something coming up that could be of great interest to a lot of people. So share with us, what do you got in the plans?
Okay, so I do a retreat every year, and now that COVID is lifted up, I do it at Manitou Hot Springs, the Dead Sea of Canada. And what it is gamma healing modality. So it's a empowering retreat, 7-day retreat. And what it is just working on you. So I tap into you, we release past lives, whatever you're ready to release, and we tap you into your psychic abilities. It's kind of like a whole package. So for 7 days, you work on yourself. And in that 7 days, you'll learn how to do gamma healing modality. You'll learn how to get into the gamma brainwaves. So I'll teach you meditation to get you up into gamma brainwaves that you can do every day. And it heightens your, not only your psychic abilities, but your awareness. And it's good for healing your body. And the reason I do it at Manitou Hot Springs is because it's the Dead Sea to Canada. So when you release your stuff, we go swimming. And what the water does, it clears your energy. See, people don't realize Epsom salt is good for your body, your physical body, but baking soda is good for your energy. So when you're releasing stuff, when you go for a massage, you end up have to drink lots of water. So what we do is we go swimming in this healing water, and it heals us. So when you look at your eyes, they could be crying a lot, they'll go swim and come back and be totally fine. And so what we do is we peel back the onion, so to speak, to get you to a point where you can move forwards in your life.
Nice.
And that will be in 2022, August 2022. And it's $2,500 to join, and that's all inclusive. And you just have to get there.
Cool. So we'll put links in the comments, like we do a registration link or website and the rest of that. So you can reach out to Kerri. We know she's on TikTok and has become a huge sensation on TikTok in a very short time frame, but you can see the energy. So how could you not become a hit on TikTok? Anita, before we wrap up, any last questions that you have for Kerri?
Last questions. You know, what you know, so when Kerri's not being the teacher, channeler, you know, what does Kerri do for fun? You know, what do you do that really gets you, you know, juiced?
I like to dance. I like to drum. I like to swim. So when I travel, I always try being by water. Yeah, lots with my grandkids. I love my grandkids. Yeah, just travel around and be with friends. You know, I'm starting to get friends all over the place, so I'm going to be traveling Australia, all kinds of places. TikTok is not a bad way to make friends.
Yeah.
So I just try to stay in nature. I regenerate in nature. I travel around in a van, so I actually live in a van and it's full of crystals. It's a real hippie van. And yeah, so that's my zen, really. And I think that's why I don't have a house, because when you go into my van, it's full of crystals. I got my drum in there. I got everything that is important to me is in that van. And I just travel around.
Nice.
And I'm just, sorry, I'm always guided to go places. And I know when I'm guided to go somewhere, I'm there to help somebody. Yeah.
What a wonderful way just to live in the flow, right?
And trusting.
Trusting, kind of like our ancestors, you know, just kind of come on the land and, oh, let's go over here. There's a tree. Oh, you know, or right?
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Just trusting. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I do like the van life. I do.
Awesome.
3 weeks is about my limit of staying someplace. I'm getting done. I'm going to be moving out of Alberta here soon.
Well, you know what, Kerri, I know that a lot of our circle, our flock are going to, you know, want to have their own button reading. And when we're done here, you know, I picked a few other ones. We'll talk about what those look like. And yeah, we absolutely adore you. We wish you all the best, and we love that you took time out of your travels to be our guest today on the Flock. Woohoo!
Thank you for having me, you guys. This was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So Feng Shui with Anita and Cheryl is the channel on YouTube, the playlist, Our Flock.
Our Flock.
And Kerri Hermary, the Button Lady.
The Button Lady. Yay. And we'll put all the links for everybody to find her and get to that retreat. And yeah, sounds exciting. And I'm sure we'll have you on again because you'll have to tell us when your book launches, right?